Welcome everyone to another recorded class, if you care to join in. And today's focus, I think, will be on our sun salutations. We'll do some of those, and we'll just warm up like we always do, start off with a nice meditation, get our bodies focused in, and then allow ourselves to start to move. As always, when you're watching a video, make sure that you have the room around you, hands up, hands out, give a twirl around. That'll allow your feet to go up and down as well as you to stand and do some movements standing. The other thing is make sure that you take care to change any of the postures that you're not sure of or that don't feel right, because I'm not able to see you. Make sure that you modify or just stop the position that you're doing or the posture that you're doing. Again, if there's anything at all that feels like it's not suiting you today. So remember, our practice is always just about feeling our bodies, letting our bodies guide us, never about telling our minds from our minds into our body about how we want to do a posture or if we should do the next level of a posture. It's always about listening to the body. We spend most of our time telling our bodies what to do and thinking about everything. This time we shut down the thoughts in the brain and we just start to listen to the body. So that being said, let's go ahead and make our way onto our mats in a nice seated position, any way that feels right for you. If you have a block and you know that you want to use it, go ahead, feel free to. Otherwise, we're going to use the ability to sit down on our buttocks, moving the fleshy bits out of the way. I like to sit cross-legged. Some people might want to sit with a foot out. And even today, I might sit in a half lotus. Some people like to sit in a full lotus. And again, that can be comfy too, depending on your knees and your hips. But again, never required. I tend to sit in the half lotus with my one foot tucked up into my hip. But again, this might look different for everyone. So just go ahead and find your sits and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Big roll up, back, and down. So from here, we should feel the shoulder blades pulling towards the spine. And we have our hands just gently relaxing, palms down on our thighs, palms up, or they can even hang on to the floor depending on how you feel today. And if we're comfortable, we're just going to close our eyes, eliminating one of the points of information that comes into our brain. So if your eyes are closed and you've sat in your nice tall position, we can start some easy breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Just noticing how the shoulders feel. Big inhale, slow exhale, letting the shoulders come away from those ears. Sometimes when we take our deep breath in, the shoulders like to come up. Let's see if we can try and isolate the air just going into our lungs and into our bellies and nothing else changes in the body. Let's try it again. Nice deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and inhale our hands all the way up above. Exhale the hands down at your side by turning the palms out and away. Maybe we touch the floor. Inhale all the way up. Maybe the fingertips touch. My head isn't moving right now. If yours has started to move up and down, that's totally fine. Exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, maybe we look up to our hands. Maybe our eyes are still closed. Exhale, chin to chest. Fingertips brush the floor. One more time. Inhale, lift it on up. Shoulders pull away from the ears and pinch towards the spine as our hands come down and our chin is to chest. Holding here, your hands can be on the mat. They can be on your legs, wherever you feel comfortable. Chin is to chest. We're just going to take our chin and roll it over to the right side. And then bring it back down through the center and then over to the other side. Let's go ahead and put breath to it. So exhale as you come down, inhale as you scoop up. Maybe we tip the chin to the sky. Exhale as you come down, and inhale as you rise up. Bring your neck back to center. Hold it directly ahead, eyes open or closed. Again, if you close your eyes, just allows you a little bit more sensation to flow from your body as opposed to looking around with the eyes. You're going to take your ear and let it come towards your shoulder, just dropping it on the right side, whatever side, because we're going to do the other side as well. Just hold it here and see if you can feel any stretch along the side of the neck that's opening up towards the sky. Then inhale back up and slowly to the other side. Just noticing on each side if we have any more tension or less tension than the other. Again, totally normal. Inhale back up. Exhale to the first side. Trying to let those shoulders relax. Letting the ear fall towards the shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Bring yourself back up to center, neutral neck. Inhale the hands all the way up. Taking that right hand, floating it down to the floor and just reaching over to the side. Maybe a bend in your supporting arm's elbow. Float it all the way up with a big inhale and exhale, come down onto the other side. Nice side stretch, might feel it a little in the hip. Feel it in the back of the shoulders. Inhale up, we're just going to float this one. Exhale down. Maybe we can turn our head up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale and exhale. Come all the way back up to center. Let the hands float. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's go ahead and grab onto our knees. I'm going to take my feet to a normal cross-legged position. You can have it out or you can hold onto the knees with your feet out. We're going to do a couple of seated cat-cows. So holding onto the knees. You're going to push your chest through the arms. Take the elbows and squeeze them in at your side and lean forward as much as you can. Chin is the first to lead. Then you're going to tuck the chin. You're going to lean all the way back. Arch your back as much as you can. Lean back. Support yourself by holding onto the knees and chin to chest. Let's do it again. Inhale, chest all the way through. Elbows in at your ribs. Lean forward, chest leads. And exhale, pull through and back, arching as you go. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and come back into our neutral seated position. We're going to find ourselves on all fours. So make your way onto your mat in whatever way makes sense to you so that you have your hands underneath your shoulders. Your fingertips are spread nice and wide. Knees underneath the hips. And then your toes are tucked. Once we've gotten this position, roll the shoulders back. Pull the belly button up by bracing the core. And make sure that you've got those toes nicely tucked so that we're able to lift up into our downward facing dog. So you send your tailbone high up into the sky. Let the head hang, give it a shake. We let our heels push towards the back of the mat. We don't have to get them there. We can soften our knee bend. We can walk our hands a little closer to the body. We can move our feet, whatever works for us in our first downward facing dog. Just notice the blood pressure starting to change. We can feel it in our head. We're starting to push the ground away by supporting our upper body weight. We are lengthening through the legs. Go for a little walk of the dog. So bring that front knee to a bend and press the back heel to the mat. And then swap it out. Again, we're just starting to lengthen through the hamstrings and through the calves. Maybe getting a little bit of movement in the bottom of the feet. You can go as slow or as fast as you need to, as long as you're noticing how the body is feeling. Couple more. Then we're going to press both of the heels back, send the tailbone high into the sky. Remember, soft knee bend. We never have to lock a joint when we're in a downward facing dog. Then we're just going to take one of our legs, how about that front leg, and send it all the way up into the sky. First three-legged dog. Let's go ahead and roll that ankle in one direction. Give me a roll in the other direction. I just find we never spend enough time on these ankles. Then we're going to bend the knee and let it come over to the opposite side of the body. Holding here, rooting down nice and strong. If you need to take it to the knee, feel free to do so. We're going to pull the knee into the chest. We're looking between our hands. We're going to step, walk, guide that foot down between the hands. Knee right over the ankle, dropping the heel and lifting up into our warrior one. Nice big warrior one position. So the warrior one, we want to make sure that we have our hips squared to the front, our shoulders are relaxed, we're looking straight ahead. We can hop that back leg in if we find that we're twisting to the side. And then we're just going to take it to our warrior two. From this one, separate the arms and turn now to the side. You can open up your stance a little bit more because your hips are now facing in the out direction instead of forward. We have our shoulders rolled back. We have our fingertips reaching all the way to each side wall. We take a nice deep breath in. We're going to exhale all the way to the top, straightening that front leg, and then inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, inhale. Let's do that two more times. Rising up, big inhale. Then let it out. One breath, one movement, coming out into your warrior two. Let's go ahead and windmill these hands all the way to the floor. Take a step up to the front of your mat. Inhale to a halfway hold. Exhale, let it go. One more time to your halfway hold. Hands can be halfway up the shin, shoulders back and down. Exhale, soften the knees and come down. Let's make this next one a big inhale, coming all the way to standing. Rise it on up, holding here. Clasping our fingertips together, maybe have our pointer fingers up to the sky and our elbows by our ears. We're going to tip over to one side. So tip over to one side here and just feel the lengthening. We did a little side bend earlier from seated. Now we're standing. We'll lift it back up over to the other side. Come all the way back to neutral. Exhale the elbows to your ribs, maybe a little back bend here. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, soften the knees and swan dive down to your mat. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other foot. And let's do a kneeling chaturanga. Our first one of the day I always like to take from the knees. So inhale to your plank and drop those knees down. Once we've got that done, we can bring our ribs down, or we can bring our elbows down by our rib cage, lowering to the mat, feet flat on the floor, lifting up into our baby cobra, tuck the chin. Do this one nice and slow with me. There's no rush, we got lots of time. Tuck the toes and come into your child's pose. Push your butt back and sit into child's pose. Knowing any time that any of the movements or flows are not working for us, we can come back into child's pose. I like child's pose with my toes tucked. It gives my feet a stretch, especially being in shoes all day. So we want to see if we can lengthen out through our bottoms of our feet. Give ourselves a little bit more length in there. When you're ready, downward facing dog. Hips high in the sky, head hangs, just relax it out. Feet hip distance apart. We're going to press our tailbone high into the sky. Maybe we can walk our hands in and find that we can get our ribs to our thighs, lengthening it through the spine, rooting down through the hands, including the fingers. Then once we've done that, we can lift up our back leg, holding here for our three-legged dog, making the adjustments that we need to.
Rotating the ankle in one direction. Rotating that ankle in the other direction. I have a few little cricks and bits coming out. That's all good. Bending at the knee and letting it fold over the body. Nice big hip opener. Again, we can take this to the knee if we need to. On your next exhalation, pull the knee into your chest, look between the hands, step, walk, guide it through. Drop your back heel, warrior one. Strong warrior one position, knee over ankle, hips squared to the front, shoulders down. Then we take it to a warrior two. Separate the hands and turn. Now that we've got this, I can open up my stance a little bit more, roll my shoulders back and down, reaching for the walls. And then we're just going to take it to a nice inhale, straighten that front leg, exhale, come down into warrior. Inhale, rise up, hamstring lengthens in the front leg, exhale, quad working as we come into our warrior two. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, last one, big inhale. Exhale to a strong warrior two. Windmill those hands down to the front of the mat. Take a step up. Inhale to halfway hold. Exhale to forward fold. One more time, halfway hold. Forward fold. Stand and rise. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to play with balance now. You can stay exactly where you are. Feet are still hip distance apart. Shoulders are back and down. We're going to just lift up onto those toes. Find our balance. Go as high as you can. First one makes a little wobbly, so don't worry about it. Come back onto the heels. Lift up those toes. Spread them nice and wide. And then place them back down. Pop up onto those toes, balls of the feet. Come as high as you can. And then slowly lower back down onto the heels, soften the knees, pull those toes up, spread them nice and wide. Go ahead up onto those toes. Hold it here, stay as high as you can. Our first little fun with our eyes closed. Go ahead and close them for 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down onto flat foot. All right, let's go back to the top of our mat if we've changed. We're going to inhale these hands all the way up. Swan dive down, soften the knees, take that dive, take a step back with one foot, take a step back with the other foot. Chaturanga, knees or maybe toes this time. Inhale to come forward, lowering knees or lowering yourself with the strength of the triceps, placing our feet flat on the floor. Inhale, maybe full cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog or child's pose to downward facing dog. Always the choice there. All right, how are we doing? We're doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and make this one a little faster. We'll take these and we'll just do it at a flowing speed. So take that front foot up high into the sky. Go ahead and bend that knee. If we're good here, we can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can soften your knee, let the foot fall behind you and open up through the hip. Now that we've got this, we can flip our dog back, holding our three-legged dog. Again, just an option to flip your dog. And then we're going to pull the knee into the chest and thread it through your open window. We can hold here and just hold on the side of the foot. Root through the fingertips, shoulders back and down. And if you want to open up on this side, you can lift the back hand up and open up this way. Couple of breaths here, root down strongly. Shoulders should be stacked right over the wrist, reaching for the sky. Come back down into downward facing dog or right into your three-legged dog. It's still that front leg high in the sky. Pull the knee into the chest, look between the hands, step, walk, guided. Place the foot down, drop the back heel, up for warrior one. Good, just lean on in, come to the front and lengthen out. Weight is already in that front foot. We're gonna pull it back into a reverse warrior. Let's go ahead and humble our warrior. Pull your hands into your chest. come down. Reach those hands all the way in front. Lift it up and reverse it. Hands come to the chest. Dive down. Take the hands out. Scoop it back up. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Exhale, humbled. Reach out. Weight is in that front foot. Pull it back and then back bend. Go ahead and bring those hands down to the front of the mat. Take a step forward. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, lower down. One more time, halfway hold. Fingertips can be on the mat for a halfway hold. Exhale, let it go. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale the hands to heart center. Let's try some balancing from here. Feet are hip distance apart. Put the weight in the right foot, lift the left heel. Soften your knees. Let's go ahead and bring that knee to a 90-degree bend. Once we've got that, let's go ahead and take our hands out. Let's attempt our first star by kicking that leg out and leaning over to the side. Wonderful. If we want to test this balance, let's go ahead and take the hand that's in the sky and the leg that's kicked out and bring elbow to knee, using your side body to get that crunch, and then out. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold your star now. Close your eyes for 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, release it. Shake it out. We got the other side to do. How are we doing? We're starting to feel the core working, the back, the shoulders, the legs. All right, feet hip distance apart. Inhale all the way up to a big inhale. Exhale, just the hands down by the side, no worries. Inhale, rise it on up again. Let's go ahead and take those hands through heart center and let's dive down, all the way down to the floor. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. A chaturanga. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to push back. All right, left foot goes high into the sky. We're here, and we're just making sure that we've got our hands firmly planted. Our head is shaken out. No effort in that head. We're going to bend at the knee and let the foot drop over the body. Stay right here. This is a hip opener. It's great. If you want to, strengthen through the core. As you let the foot drop, you bend into that supporting knee, lift up and hold. Bigger hip opener. You're sending your hips to the sky. We're going to flip it back down. So brace that core. Lift yourself all the way back up. We're in a 3-legged dog with everybody. We're going to pull the knee into the chest as we exhale. And we're going to send it through to the front. You can stay on the side of the foot here. You don't have to go anything further than that. You're getting a nice stretch along the side of your leg and into the hip. If you want a little bit more, back hand stays down. Lift up the front hand and come to hips to the sky again. Bringing that hand back down. You can flip into a downward facing dog or right into that 3-legged dog, however it works for you. We're going to exhale, bring the knee into the chest, step, walk, guide it through, plant it down, back heel down, warrior 1. Good, sink on in, hips squared to the front. Now that we've got that, we're going to lean forward, holding here. Let's pull it back, all the way back. Maybe those hands start to clasp. We're going to bring it down, bring your hands to your chest, humble your warrior and come to the front. We're going to reach those hands out. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center as you dive down. Inhale, reach out and up. 2 more times. Exhale, humble the warrior. Reach all the way forward. Pull it back. Can you do that for me one more time? Exhale, humble. Bring it all the way to the front.
pull it to the back. Go ahead and pull those hands down at your sides. Let's go ahead and bring them to the floor. Take a step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, release it down. One more time. I like doing this twice just to give myself a little bit of a chance to re-establish my blood pressure. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Feet are hip distance apart. We've got a soft knee bend. We're going to lift the other foot, the heel of the other foot now, and soft, able to make any kind of movement that we need to for balancing. If we lock a knee, it makes it extremely difficult to find any kind of balance. So once we've got that, pull the core in, lift up the foot, and just find it on this side. If this is where we are today, that's awesome, okay? If we've got a little bit more, we're going to take it to our side star. So reaching out, holding here, reaching your hands as far and wide as you can. When you've got this and you feel stable, we can use the side body now to bring elbow and knee from the top, hand and knee together. Tap and reach it out. Exhale, crunch. Reach it out. Try 2 more times. Find that balance. Don't worry if you've lost it. Tap the toe down. There's no shame in tapping down. The body is just learning how to coordinate itself in this posture that we don't normally do. All right, hold it out here. Wherever you are, let's try a balance without sight. Close your eyes for 4, 3, 2, and release. Whew. Felt a little bit better on that side. How'd you do? One side always tends to be better. Sometimes balance is off completely for the day, and sometimes it's right on. Balance you can train for, but every day is going to be different, and it really depends on what you've done the night before, how you ate, what you drank, that kind of stuff. So never beat ourselves up for it. We're going to come back to the top of our mat if we've changed our position. We're going to inhale the hands all the way up. Exhale them down at the sides. Really getting into these shoulders, warming them up. Inhale up. Let's swan dive this one down. Soften the knees. Take a dive. You know what to do. You can step back 1 foot and the other. You can do a chaturanga or you can walk the dog. I'm going to chaturanga, but you can stay in a rest pose. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, push it back. And let's go ahead and come to all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders. Toes are tucked, shoulders away from the ears. Once we've gotten this position, we're going to work into the hips a little bit. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to have the toes tucked, and I want you to lift up that front knee. Just hold that hover. So once the knee is about 1 inch, maybe 1 centimeter off the floor, it doesn't have to be high, it just has to be off. We're trying to keep our shoulders away from our ears. We're going to exhale and bring that foot up as high as we can to the side, and then bring it back down with a nice smooth inhale. Okay, so we're looking down, we're lifting up, check out my toes, pointed, always in the flex position, and then bring it back down. Okay, you can hear the effort in my voice. Exhale right here. This is hard work. Root down through all the fingertips, bring it back in. One more time. Exhale and hold it. Do you have a little bit more for me? If you do, lengthen that leg out and kick it out. If you have to touch the floor, go ahead. Pull it back in and bring it down. Can you do 2 more like that? Let's go. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Lift. You can just hold it. You can extend it. You can pull it in, bring it down, and then we're going to take it to a child's pose. Whew. Reaching forward, butt back towards your heels and lengthen out. Roll those wrists. They took a lot of effort being on the ground in that position. Now, when we start to walk as children, as babies, we are on these, our hands, and we do a lot of crawling. What we don't do when we're an adult in our modern day society is get down on hands and knees and do very much anymore. We're never on the floor.
We don't like to be on the floor for the most part. So we've lost a lot of the strength in those wrists. So if you have, don't worry, we always have options. You know, you can use fists for wrists. So let's come on up and try our options. Knees underneath the hips. We're going to do the other side now. So option, folding up the mat, making sure that your fingertips are forward of the wrist or just a little bit lower than the wrists. That'll allow you to really have to press into those fingertips and take a lot of the pressure directly down into those wrists. We have the option of fists, where the energy then goes straight down through the wrist as opposed to into a crease. Okay? We have those two options, and we also have the option just to rest. All right? So let's go ahead and take our shoulders back and down, knees underneath the hips, toes are tucked, belly's pulled up, and we're ready to take flight by lifting the knee off of the ground. We're on the back knee, your other knee. We're just hovering it. Anytime you need to just hold here, this you can feel that you're still working because you're holding the weight of your upper body through the hands. Now, if you can, we're going to exhale and lift it out to the side. Remember, the heel is flexed. Your ankle is flexed. Bring it back down. Slow and controlled. I know we just want to go, wow, but that's not what I need you to do. I need you to exhale, and then I need you to bring it back in with control. Feel the muscles working. Root down equally through both hands. Don't let the front hand work more than the back to stabilize you, and really brace that core. Let's go ahead one more time. Lifting the knee up, squeezing your butt, bracing your core, rooting down through the hands, and come back down. All right, the extension. I don't know how much room I have, but we're gonna kick it out. We're gonna lengthen it out. We're gonna pull it back in, and we're gonna bring it back down. Now I'm really gonna try and keep my hips square on this one. So lifting it up, my hips are trying to stay square, rooting down through both hands, kicking out to the side. Bring it back in, and all the way back underneath the hip. 2 more times. Let's go. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, bring it out. Send it to a straight leg if you can. Pull it back in. Bring it in and release. All right. Push yourself back into child's pose. Release those wrists. If you want a deeper stretch for the wrist, here's what I recommend, bringing those hands down by shoulder. Then you flip the palms up. Keep the wrists down on the mat or the floor and pull the elbows down. So instead of lifting up the hand, we keep the wrists down, and you don't have to bring your elbows nearly as far as I do. If they come that far, that's great, but you're just pulling the elbows down towards the bottom of your mat. You should feel a nice stretch along the forearm where that gets tense from being on hands and knees. Wherever you are in your child's pose, if you've grabbed some water, done what you need to do, let's go ahead and walk ourselves onto our butts, rolling ourselves over and coming into some different core work. Once we've gotten ourselves on our backs, let's go ahead and take our hands out to the side. We're going to bring the knees, just let them fall to the front, no problem here. Bring them up and over to the other side. Again, spinal twisting, again, beautiful thing. You can always just stay here. If your back has any kind of issues at all, the knees do not have to go that far and the feet can stay on the floor. Now that we've done that a couple of times, just relax the head, shake it side to side, no tension in the jaw. Again, when we work our lower body, for some reason our jaws seem to think that they can help out. So just try and relax your face. Once we've done that, let's go ahead and bring our knees to stack right above our hips. Palms are facing up, and we can press into the palms as we bring our knees to the front. Bring them all the way up and to the back. Let's do it again to the front and then to the back. Now this is just side to side. if you know the figure 8 movement, it's just like creating a giant 8. We're going to pull our knees up into our chest. We're going to circle around, and then we're going to pull them back into our chest, and then go to the other side. Okay, so exhale, a crunch. Inhale, circle around. Exhale, a crunch. Circle around. Exhale, a crunch. Circle around. Exhale, pull the knees in and circle around. Just put those feet back down, take a break. We have add-ons, so hopefully we're starting to feel the lower abdominals starting to work. Once we've decided that we've had a break, if we need more, we take it. If we're ready to go, knees are stacked. We can just do the simple side to sides, which is totally good, or we can add in that crunch figure 8 and then we add on from there. So go ahead, pull the knees into the chest, draw that circle to the front, pull it back in, exhale, inhale to the other side. That was our first level. We can pull it in, extend the top leg, draw that circle around, and then lift up to the crunch. Then we go to the other side. Draw around, extend that leg, then we lift it up and into the crunch. Okay, so let's try that again. So pull the knees in, let's extend that leg, draw the circle. Then you come up and see if you can get that heel to the sky. Lift your butt up. Bring it down to 90-90, all the way out. Let the other top leg come out. I'm trying not to hit my plant. And then you lift your butt up. Let's do it a little faster. So, exhale and shoot it up. Inhale. Exhale, shoot it up. Exhale, shoot it up. Ugh. That little shoot up at the end. And one more time, shoot up. Yeah. Okay, take a break. Did your jaw join the party? If it did, shake your head and relax it out. We've got one more. And the option is, of course, your 2 legs. Okay, so we can just stay with the 2 knees. We can do the top leg comes out, or we can go with both legs. The toughest one yet. Hands at the side, jaw relaxed, lifting those knees. And if we want it, we take both legs up and we hold it. You're gonna draw that circle around. Oh my goodness. You're gonna come up, crunch, and lift. And then you're gonna take it around the other side, draw a nice big circle, lift it up, and breathe. Go around here, go as big as you can. Keep your hips on the floor until you come to that pop. Reach around with those toes. How's the jaw doing? What's it doing? Is it relaxed? Push. All right, just hold here. Knees can stay bent, feet in the air, and we're just going to take our hands up, okay? Once we've got it, we're gonna elevate, or we're gonna actually not elevate yet, we're gonna come out to the floor, and then we're gonna elevate back up. Now this is the first level, okay? Knees bent, we can tap down, we can come up. You can do the straight leg with me where I was. A stronger core is required because they're longer levers. And then if you want, you can come all the way to a lengthened position and then lift up through the chest and reach for those toes. Back down, tap the head. You can keep the head on the floor, or you can lift up using the upper core. One more time, all the way out. Exhale here. You can hold here with your shoulders off the mat. You can put your head back down, but what we're gonna do now is not use our hands at all, and we're just gonna lift those feet up. Knees can be bent, and we're just gonna go, ugh. Did you get it? Try it again. Exhale. See if you can get those toes to go straight up. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh, shake that head out. Again, the party started in my neck and jaw. They were sort of thinking they could help out my abdominals. It's always funny how that happens. You're holding up your head. That's where the strength comes from. But when you start to grit the teeth or anything like that, that's when you start to get those jaws that get tight and then you get those headaches. So just be cognizant if that's where your tension usually go. If you're somebody who clenches your teeth, just try and relax that during your practice. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and hold on to our knees if we're comfortable crossing at the ankles. Give ourselves a rock and roll up to the seated position. If rocking and rolling isn't for you, you know what to do. Just find yourself in seated, and then grab some water, do what you gotta do, and we'll find ourselves back on all fours. All right, so hopefully we've worked the butt, the core, upper and lower. We're ready to get back onto these wrists. I hope we had enough time to relax those wrists. Roll the shoulders back, knees underneath the hips, toes are tucked, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and put this all together now. We're gonna take that front foot high up into the sky. We're gonna bend that knee. If we wanna flip our dog, we soften the supporting knee and flip it. We're gonna pull ourselves back into a down dog or a three-legged dog. We're gonna exhale, pull the knee into the chest, thread it through. Hold here and lengthen out through the side leg, or flip it, keeping that front hand down, lifting the back one up, lifting the hips up. If you really wanna go for it this time, lift that foot off the floor, the one that's threaded through. Put it back down, drop down, three-legged dog. Lots of core there. Exhale, pull it through, step, walk, guide it, drop the back heel, warrior one. Split it to warrior two. Shoulders back and down, lengthening out through your stance. Let's go ahead and lengthen all the way up. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. One more time, inhale, exhale, reach, come all the way up to the top. Lengthen that front leg. You can keep a soft knee bend. We're just going to take the hands out, and this time we're going to tip with the front leg extended. Feeling that hamstring, back of the leg, that's where it should be talking to you. Keeping a bent knee if you need to. Let's bring it back up. Go ahead and windmill those hands to the front. Come into warrior one again. Okay, so you gotta make the stance a little bit smaller. We're gonna pull those hands down to our chest. We're gonna lean forward, weight is in that front foot. We're going all the way forward and lifting it back up. Exhale, reach it on up. Exhale down, reach it forward. Last time, exhale down. Reach it forward, hold it here, lifting the back heel. When you're ready to pop up into your warrior three, you can pop, hop, hop, and then pop up, or you may just take off here. Lengthen out through the arms, lengthen out through the tip of the toe, soft knee bend, and we're gonna pull our elbows in towards our ribs, and then we're gonna stand up tall into our star. We're going to take elbow to the knee, so go ahead and pull in and out. 2 more times, in and out. Last time, in and out. Close your eyes for 4, 3, 2, release, shake it out. Nice. We're putting it all together. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, come down. Take your breathers. Inhale up. Soften the knees, swan dive down. Take a step back with one. Take a step back with the other. Chaturanga or rest. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, push back. Left foot high up into the sky. We're going to bend that knee. If we want to flip that dog, soften the supporting knee, let it go, hold here. On your next exhale, flip it back to downward dog or right into three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, thread it through to the front. Holding here or root down through the back hand, roll up. Exhale, back down. Three-legged dog or down dog to three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, look between the hands, step, walk, guide it. Place the back foot down, warrior one. Reach that up.
Warrior two, separate, wider stance. Good, let's inhale up, lengthening through those legs, front leg. Exhale, send it down. Inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, reach. Last one, inhale, up. Hold it here, bring the hands out. Soft knee bend, so we don't lock it out. And then we're just tipping all the way down. So your hands are in one straight line, and we're reaching down for the floor. If we can't find the floor, no problem. You can hold onto your shin, or you can have a hand on your thigh. We're really focusing on lengthening out through the hamstring of the front leg that is straightened. Good. Let's bring it to our warrior two. Sweep the hands up. Warrior one, step in the stance. Exhale, hands to heart center. Dive down with an exhale. Inhale, float it on up. Exhale, dive down. Float it on up. Keeping the legs stationary if we can. Dive and humble. Then reach forward and lift. Let's do that one more time. Exhale down. Reach forward and hold here. Lift the back heel. Tap, tap up with that back leg, or pop up into your warrior three, holding here now for 4, 3, 2. Make the move as the elbows pull into your sides. And then when you're ready, stand up into your star. Go ahead and reach for it. Tap down if you need to, holding here. And then once we've done that, and we've found our balance, knee is soft supporting us, go ahead and close your eyes for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Awesome job. All right, come to the top of the mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, come down. Let's do it again. Inhale all the way up. Soften the knees, swan dive down.
Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other foot. Go ahead and give me a chaturanga. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, push back. Let's go ahead and drop to the knees. Lower your body all the way to the floor. Once we have shimmied our hips, we're able to then be belly on the mat. Hands out at the sides of your shoulders. We're going to bend the knees. Once we've got the knees bent, the heels come together, okay? And your toes point out to the side. You've got now a fish-looking flipper, all right? So knees are out, heels together, toes out, and we look like we have a nice little flipper going on. Now that we've got that done, we are able to press those heels together and just lift up the knees. Ooh, lower back. Hello, lower back. Place them back down. Okay, really put the pressure into the heels as you lift up, all the way up, as high as you can go, but squeezing your butt, and then bring it back down. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Now, keep the feet exactly as they are. Let's just try the upper body. Let's go ahead and lift up the upper body. Hands can stay on the floor if you need to, or you can lift them up and squeeze behind your back. Lower back down. Exhale, lift. And lower. Are those heels still connected and touching and squeezing? Lift. And lower. All right. Let's put them together. Your heels are still touching. Your knees really want to come off the mat, and so do those hands. So let's go ahead and lift it up. Exhale, lift, and come down. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, squeeze through the back. Lift those elbows high, and then come down. Really drive the energy into the heels as you lift. Those knees come high off, and we lower down. Let's do 2 more. Come on up. Lift. And lower. Last time, lift. If you've got anything left, can you reach those hands out? Almost like you are the awesomest skydiver in the world. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1.
work. Posterior chain. Give me a shimmy. Just rest for a second. Place the hands at your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Slide your bum back towards your heels. Very slowly. Child's pose. The opposite pose to what we just did. We're going to go into wheel, but we're going to start with our bridge. So for those of you who would like to practice your wheel and do so, feel free to. If anyone has not practiced wheel and they're not sure about it, please don't attempt it. Again, if you have any neck issues or that, we want to make sure that we're seeking the advice of somebody before we do anything that is not in our daily practice. So go ahead and come onto your backs. Lower yourself down. First level, we always start off with, so we take our shoulders, we just shimmy them, shake our head side to side, no issues in the jaw. We're looking up into the sky, palms face down, press your heels into the mat, lift up, squeeze your butt. We've been here before, and then lower back down. Let's go ahead and press it on up again. If the neck feels good, we've got our chin towards our chest. We're squeezing the heck out of our booty. We lower it back down. We can lift ourselves back up again. Again, we're working into these backs. We can shimmy the shoulders completely underneath our bodies. And if we can reach those hands together, we can hold here. We can always have the hands unlocked. We definitely don't need that, or have them untucked. We're going to lift that front heel up. Then we're going to swap it for the back. Front and back, chin to chest, keep the hips high. Front and back. One more time. Both heels lifted. Walk the feet a little bit closer to your body if you can. Lift up and hold for 4, 3, 2, heels down. Release the hands, walk it out, slowly roll down. All right, just breathe here. You might want to pull a knee into the chest followed by the other and give yourself a little bit of a hug here. We have the option of doing that again, coming into our bridge, rocking our shoulders underneath our body, possibly clasping our hands. Or we can come into our wheel. So for those of us who are coming back into bridge, feet underneath the hips, this is it for wheel as well. We have our hands down at our side and we lift up. You can go ahead and make the choice to shimmy under now, or if you're coming for wheel, put yourself back down, place your hands beside your ears, your elbows facing the sky, and we are able to then lift up and then press into the hands. So lift up the hips, press into the hands, and then push up. Now you can let the head hang. We can hang out here. We can walk the feet a little bit closer in if we need to. We don't do anything at all. If we're in our bridge, we can lift up our heels and come into a high one. If we're in our wheel, we can do the same thing. We're breathing here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody heels down. If you're in a wheel like me, tuck the chin, lower your head down, then slowly lower down. If you are in your bridge, you know just to lower yourself down. And everybody now on your back. Shake out the head, make sure we have no tension there. And let's go ahead and take this to our stretch. So from here, what I want to do is just take those knees, let them fall to one side. They don't have to be together. And then let them fall to the other side. Okay, so my feet are hip distance apart from our work on the bridge. So that's why my knees are not together. This feels really good on my hips. And then bring it to the other side. If the knees are completely together, that's fine too. We've done that before, no worries. Coming back into the center. Let's go ahead and lengthen out through that front leg. Take those hands out to the side like a T. You've got your heel on the bent knee, which is the back leg. You're going to press into that heel, lift the hip, and drop it to the side.
Okay, so again, you're going to press into the heel, lift your butt up, and then drop to the side. Once you're there, you can reach out. If you have a block or something to support you, your knee, you can do that. Or we can just slowly let the knee start to come over, resting our top foot on our calves and just letting the knee float. If this is too much, put the toe on the floor and give yourself some support. If you've got the knee bent and across the body and your toe is on your calf, you might want to take the foot off of the calf and place it on the floor. Again, this will give you a deeper twist. Then wherever you are in your supine twist, you can look away from the knees for cervical spinal twist. Nice deep breaths here. You're in a twist, so the air has to fill the lungs differently than when you're normally in your upright position. Try and release any of the tension in your glutes. They tend to want to squeeze on to protect the back. If you're in a posture that you're supported in and that you're not feeling it in the back, then you're good. If you're feeling it in the back and you're using your butt cheeks to really clench together to protect it, take it back a notch, okay? Should be a nice relaxing pose. We're going to slowly bring ourselves back into a neutral neck, so we're looking up to the sky. We're going to take our knee on the bottom, bend it, and slide it up so that it's underneath the other one. Pressing into the backs of the hands, sweeping both of those knees back up, readjusting your hips by pressing into the heels, and adjusting yourself on your mat. Let's go ahead and lengthen out the back leg. Press into that heel, drop the hips, and again the toe can stay here, and we can hold it right here. We can feel that support. If you want to take it a little bit further, put the knee on the calf and just let the knee hang out. You'll notice that my twist got a little bit deeper. Stay here for a few breaths. Just notice how the body feels. And again, if the body is saying, I think we've had enough, and you're thinking maybe I can go a little further, if you're thinking maybe I can go a little further, maybe today's not the day you want to do it. You want to be sure that the body is saying, we can do this. So I have absolutely nothing going on in my back other than a beautiful twist. Nothing's tightening. I'm not squeezing any muscles to protect anything. My body is fine. So I'm going to lower my foot to the floor and let my knee come down. The other thing that might be compensating is the shoulder. If the shoulder is lifting up quite a bit, it's not getting a twist. So if you have to lift up or hold down or anything like that, that is releasing the twist. So I'd rather you have your shoulder on the mat and take the posture that keeps the shoulder down so that you get the twist in the spine, as opposed to lifting up and reducing the twist because your shoulder is now compensating for the twist, okay? So you can be like me with the foot on the floor and the knee on the mat, but the shoulder stays down if you have that kind of range of motion. And then everyone can choose to look away from their knees. A couple more nice deep breaths here. Try and see if you can get the air into the ribs and the back. Big breath. Might even feel it across the chest into the pectoral muscles. To be safe to get out of this one, neutral neck first, so look up to the sky. Then slide the bottom knee underneath the top knee. Press into the backs of the hands to bring both knees back up. And go ahead and come onto the mat. Let's go ahead and stretch out these hips a little bit and release the lower back a bit. So we're going to pull one knee into the chest followed by the other. Go ahead and give me those hands on the knees. We're going to roll around in one direction. We're going to roll around in the other direction. And then we're going to separate those knees. Slide our hands down our shins to find our ankles. Or we can find the soles of our feet on the outside. Tailbone tucks down. Pulling the knees out to the side. Pulling them down towards the base of the mat with your feet together. That should feel a nice little stretch. If you want a little bit more, now you can open up the feet and pull the knees down towards the mat. If this feels really good and we want to tuck that tailbone down so we get the lengthening through the spine, but we also want to massage our back, You can let the knee on the front maybe touch, it doesn't have to, and then on to the other side. Again, pushing your tailbone down towards the mat, so it's not floating up. Here's my tailbone floating up. This is me on my higher upper back. This is tucking the tailbone down and staying nice and low and fully in control of the side to side motion. I'm also pressing into my feet with my hands, pulling the knees down to open up my hips. I would be doing the same thing if I was holding onto my ankles. I would just be pulling down. And then we can take it, hold it here, stop the rock. If you want a little bit more for the hamstrings, we were playing with those earlier by lengthening out those legs. You can come into a V. You might not straighten out all the way, that's okay. Tuck the tailbone down. Couple of breaths here. Soften the knees if it's too intense for the backs of the legs. Softening those knees, bringing the heels towards one another. Sliding those hands up the shins to the knees. Allowing the knees to come together, giving them a little help. Placing one foot on the floor, followed by the other. Then we're able to just walk those feet out to the side, readjust the hips, readjust the shoulders, shake out the head side to side. Coming into our final Shavasana, our corpse pose, our relaxation, our meditation. If this is good, stay here. If you want to lengthen out one leg at a time, just see how the back is feeling today. Lengthen out one, lengthen out the other leg. Let the feet fall out to the side. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. You can do a loud exhale if it feels right. Sometimes a nice big full exhale is exactly what we need. So let's try that again. Inhale. Let's do that one more time with the full exhale. Inhale. Let that energy go with the exhale. And we go back to our gentle, more mindful breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Let's gently focus on our bodies, remembering our toes, coming up onto them in a few of our things today, whether it was in our standing or in our bridge posture, possibly in our wheel. We got up onto those toes and we used the bottom of the feet to really stretch out and lengthen out through the feet that we don't normally do in our shoes. We had to work those ankles. We held them in a flexed position a lot today. We use them in our warriors. We use them for most movements of walking. So if we need to, we can roll out those ankles a little bit, maybe wiggle those toes, take a nice deep breath in, and then just let those feet fall out to the side. Our calves are integral to moving our dorsal flexion of the foot, so that is to move your feet up and down, to lift them up. So those calves often get tight. We were stretching them out when we walked our dog. Bringing the awareness then from the calves up into our quads and hamstrings. We use those a lot today. We definitely lengthen those hamstrings out in a couple of our standing postures. Use the quads to help us balance and pop up into stars. So if there's any tension in the calves, the hamstrings, or the quads, just give those legs a little shimmy and then just let them relax. Awareness now into the abdominals and the lower back. So much work today. Doing crunches, figure eights, doing little lifts, then going into back bends and bridges and all that work with the bringing our heels together and lifting up from a parachute. So again, all that awesome work today throughout the core. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let the core relax. Shoulders, chest, upper back. Everything that we need to hold ourselves up in a plank, a downward facing dog, through our chaturangas, in our tabletops. So if those shoulders are up around the ears, let's just send them away down by reaching those hands to the bottom of the mat. Lifting our chest up, arching our backs into a little bit of a back bend. Sliding those hands down a little bit more. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the chest, relax the back, and let everything melt down to the mat. Bringing the awareness into the arms, all the way from the biceps and triceps that do pushing and pulling movements, down into those wrists that we spent a lot of time on, into those fingertips that give us the dexterity to right pick things up. If you need to wiggle those fingers, roll those wrists, take a deep breath in, exhale, and let those hands, arms, shoulders, chest, back relax. Coming into the face, letting the lips part. The jaw is starting to loosen. As much as it wanted to help us out through a lot of our practice today, just let it go. Soften the eyes. Let the creases around the sides of the eyes start to melt away. The eyebrows unfurrow, and the lines on our forehead disappear. We've now done our full body scan. If there's anywhere else that you need to go, feel free to scan that part of your body and try and relax into it. If we lose our concentration on our body scan, we can bring it back to breath. We can just stay in our silence for the next 60 seconds. You may want to stay in Shavasana a little longer than 1 minute. Please feel free to do so. It is so important to give yourself some time just to relax. And even if we fall asleep, if that's what the body needed, then so be it. Relax, fall asleep. Enjoy that little siesta for the moment. But if you are like me, bringing your awareness back to the body, bend at the elbows so that the hands are in the air. Really rotate those wrists one direction to the other. Go ahead and wiggle those fingers. Then we can take one hand, reach it above our head, followed by the other. We might interlace those fingers and press them to the top. Reaching all the way up, maybe that little back bend again. Point the toes to the bottom of the mat. Big reach, stretch, and then release it down. Bring one hand down by your side, followed by the other. One heel comes towards the body, followed by the other. One knee into the chest, followed by the other. Give yourself a nice little wrap around here, and then just a little side to side. We're going to make enough momentum to roll onto one side or the other. I'm going to roll towards you, but feel free to roll away. Just let those knees drop to stack. Bottom hand is pillow. Top hand Gently in front of the belly button, palm face down. Side lying position, just noticing how we feel. Notice all the adjustments happening now that we've been lying on our spine for a bit. Now we're on our side. When you feel ready to do so, pressing into the hand in front of the belly button, using the bicep to push yourself up, and the tricep, walking yourself up. Swinging yourself back onto your mat into the seated position. Shoulders up, back, and down. Let's inhale the hands all the way up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. One more time, inhale all the way up. Neck neutral, hands float down to your lap. Let's go ahead and just take our ear to our shoulder on one side, noticing if we have a better range of motion. My eyes are closed, you can be open. Bring it back up. Go to the other side. Let's see if we've gotten some extra room on this one. Maybe we don't notice it's much of a strain. Hopefully that's the case. Bring it back up. Tuck the chin down. Roll the chin over to one side. Lift the chin up. Bring it back down. Scoop it through all the way to the other side. Nice big inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, come down. Look all the way up to the sky. Bring the chin to the chest. Bring the head back to neutral. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Thank you everyone for joining me for another practice. I hope your neck feels a little looser. I hope your back feels a little stronger and a little more flexible. I hope we got into those legs and worked the backs and the cores, into the feet, and that we had a wonderful feeling of accomplishment, because just coming to your mat and getting on it and doing anything is better than most people who haven't done a thing. So again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whether it's day, night, or you're just about to pop into your bed. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Thank you, and see you again hopefully soon.